The Red Sox take on the Yankees game one, and that's going to be a 1:05 p.m. Eastern first pitch in the first of a doubleheader. The Yankees are minus $1.25 in game one, total 7. Jordan Montgomery's the starter for New York. Tanner Houck for Boston. And following yet another winning day on BrockPage.com, we also improved to 9-1 in our last 10 $1.99 daily best plays on that site. And if you want to see which one of these free YouTube picks I'm actually betting on personally, there's only one way to do that, and that's to sign up for a membership on BrockPage.com. We're also 8-3 in our last 11 extra daily picks on my Brock Page website as well. And if you want to access today's extra daily pick, it's only going to cost you just $2.99. Now, we currently have over 825 members who are signed up and active on that site. And once again, if you want to see which one of these free YouTube picks I'm actually betting on personally, there's only one way to do that, and that's on BrockPage.com. Now, both teams, with regard to this doubleheader here, both teams have played pretty well here lately in the past week or so. Having said that, though, the Yankees have really struggled to hit the baseball at home. They're actually in the bottom 5 in the league in home hits, as they're averaging just 7.4 hits a game in the Bronx. Now, this New York lineup averages nearly double-digit strikeouts a game at the plate as well. They also have Jordan Montgomery on the mound here today, who's actually managed to muster up just 4 wins through 114 innings of work this year. Now, New York's taking on a Boston club who's on a 3-game winning streak, and they rank in the top 3 in the league in hits on average per game. Rafael Devers has driven in a league-leading 89 runs this year, 29 homers, and a .930 OPS. Xander Bogaerts is also 9th in the league in batting average and 21st in OPS himself. Now, the Sox are currently winning 60% of their divisional games. They also have Tanner Houck on the bump here today, 2.93 ERA and a 1.14 WHIP. Pretty good numbers for the role player, although his record isn't that great, but he does get the job done when he's in there. So anyway, total-wise, Boston saw 8 out of their last 10 meetings with New York stay under the line. Meanwhile, the Yankees are 4-0 to the under in their last 4 at Yankee Stadium. I'm going to lean toward the underdog Boston Red Sox plus 1.5. Boston Red Sox plus 105 and the under 7 runs in game 1 of the doubleheader. And with that, next contest, Blue Jays Nationals, 7:05 Eastern Standard Time. The Toronto Blue Jays are minus $2, totals 9.5. Alec Minnow for Toronto, Eric Fetty for Washington. Now, Fetty's just 4-8 on the season, 5.12 ERA and a 1.42 WHIP. The Nationals have lost their last 7 straight, 1-12 straight up in their last 13. Washington has a losing home record, and they rank in the bottom 10 in home scoring. Now, they're taking on a Blue Jays club who's in the top 3 in hits per game at the plate. They also strike out less than any other team on the road. Vlad Guerrero's hit 35 homers and drove in 88. The Sluggers also got an OPS of 1.020. And he's actually second in the big leagues in all of those 3 categories I just mentioned. Marcus Semion's also hit 27 homers and knocked in 70. Meanwhile, pitching-wise, the Blue Jays are holding their opponents to just 3.6 runs a game when they travel. Now, Alec Minnow, he's had a pretty good year here. He's 5-1 with a 2.59 ERA and a 1.02 WHIP. Now, the righty's also struck out 71 batters in 59 innings of work. And when it comes to the total in this one, 6 out of Toronto's last 8 interleague contests on the road stayed under the number. Meanwhile, Washington has seen 60% of their ball games at Nationals Park stay under the total themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Toronto Blue Jays minus 1.5 and the under 9.5 runs. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into our next and final matchup. It is going to be Orioles versus the Rays, and that's going to be a 7:10 Eastern start time. The Tampa Bay Rays are minus 235, totals 8.5. Drew Rasmussen for Tampa Bay, John Means for Baltimore. Despite some real solid outings out of John Means this year, the last place Orioles are 41 games under 500, and they're right in the heart of a disastrous 12-game losing streak. Baltimore wins only 33% of their road games, and they give up more runs per game than any other team in baseball. The O's are also dead last in hits allowed per contest as well. Now they're taking on a first-place Tampa club who won 7 out of their last 10, and they also rank in the top 3 in the league in scoring. Brandon Lowe's hit 28 home runs and knocked in 68. Austin Meadows also has 79 RBI himself, which ranks 9th in the majors. Meanwhile, pitching-wise, Tampa Bay allows only 3.2 runs a game at the Trop. And when it comes to the scoring in this one, Tampa Bay saw 8 out of their last 10 outings get over the number. Baltimore went 60% to the over in their last 10 themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Tampa Bay Rays -1.5. And the over 8 and a hook. And with that, guys, now it's time for our quick pick recap. Powered to you by my website, brockpage.com, where we are 9-1 in our last 10. $1.99 daily best plays on that site. I like Boston +105, under 7 in game 1 of the doubleheader. Toronto -1.5, under 9.5 runs. Before I give you my next and final free pick for the video, one final reminder that we are once again 9-1 in our last 10. $1.99 daily best plays on brockpage.com. We're also 8-3 in our last 11 extra daily picks on that very same website. I'm going to lean toward the Tampa Bay Rays -1.5 and the over 8.5 runs. And with that, guys, now it's time for our shout out of the day. And that goes to Aaron Posey, who said yesterday, Brock, respect for the explanation at the end of the... man, I can't talk today. Aaron Posey, sorry about that. I butchered your quote. Let's try that again. Brock, respect for the explanation at the end of the video, bro. Nothing but respect. And I'll tell you what, I forget who asked the question, but somebody asked yesterday, like, hey, dude, why does your video cut off sometimes? Like, why are some videos 27 minutes long and the others are like a minute? And I was explaining to him that there's different phases when you upload a video to YouTube. And one of the last phases is the processing phase. And for some reason, my videos will upload super quick, but when it goes to the processing phase, it'll take like 3 to 4 hours. And it's not indicative of my experience with the YouTube over the past 5 years, so I really don't want to bash YouTube. It's only something that has started recently. But anyway, when that happens and I make a video that's 27 minutes long and it processes for 4 hours, well, what happens is when it finally goes live onto the internet, on the YouTube, the game's already started. So unfortunately, I have to take a smaller clip of the big video and just throw it out there just so you guys can get the leans before the games start. So, but anyway, Mr. Posey, appreciate you taking out the time, and I appreciate your loyal viewership. Now, guys, that is going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on brockpage.com. And once again, guys, if you end up getting a membership on that website, just keep in mind, you're going to get billed the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So if you do end up getting a membership here today, you are going to get access to that content all the way through the end of August. And then you are going to get billed again on September 1st if you continue to opt in. But anyway, I always tell folks the earlier in the month you sign up, the better. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Tuesday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at brockpage.com.